Streamlabs has put out a plugin for OBS Studio, and I don't understand why they would do that, other than, well, there is one possibility, but we'll get to that. I wanted to give at least an honest, fair assessment of the plugin before I make really any brash decisions. The problem is that when I went to install the plugin, it crashed my OBS. I have 3 OBS installations on my PC because I use it for different things. I have my main setup for streaming, I have a setup for testing different plugins as well as testing things that I make, and then I have another one that I use for tutorial purposes. And Streamlabs' plugin crashed and burned all 3. Now, the installation wouldn't be a problem for me if it would actually install into a single OBS. But that's not how this plugin works. If you have multiple OBS instances, it will install itself into all of them because it doesn't care where things are installed, it just cares that it's there. So if you're wanting to test this out, you're gonna need to either package up all of your OBSs and save them, and doing it through portable mode, which if you don't know how to do that, right there, or you get a completely different PC to put OBS on that is separate from your normal setup, and you can test things out that way. I'm not willing to go that far anymore with this plugin because it has destroyed my setup, and I've had to reinstall everything and reset up everything. Okay, that's a bit of an exaggeration. I have backups of my OBS Studio. There were only a couple things I had to redo, and it really wasn't too terrible. It was just a couple hours out of my day. Still, that's a couple hours I could have used doing other things. Now, it's not just that I tried one time. I actually tried 5 times to get this plugin to work. The issue is that I have third-party plugins already installed into OBS Studio. So that makes me question, does this actually want to play well with others, or is this turning your OBS Studio into nothing more than Streamlabs OBS with reduced features? And honestly, my conclusion is pretty much the latter. But let me kind of dive into a few things that I find very puzzling and concerning. Okay, so when we look at the documentation that they have, since I can't actually use the plugin after 5 attempts. So the thing with this documentation, the first thing that jumps out at me is the Streamlabs plugin for OBS will upgrade your live stream by combining what you love most about Streamlabs with the power of OBS. See, that right there with the issues I've had, I don't believe. Because for me, the power of OBS is the fact that it gives you the freedom to create and use OBS as you want and as you require. My issue is, if this doesn't play well with other third-party plugins, then what's the point? So the recent events is basically the alert box. You can drop that in with a browser source and a URL into OBS Studio, Streamlabs OBS, Lightstream, whatever OBS you're using, you can make that work. So it's not exclusive to this plugin. You can, Cloudbot. Streamers can connect to Streamlabs Cloudbot to enable giveaways, minigames, and much more. Oh dear. The plugin for this, and it even says this later on in this documentation, the Cloudbot that they put in this plugin is literally just an on and off switch, whether it's going to be active or not. That's it. If you want to make any adjustments to that Cloudbot, you still have to go to the website as if you did with Streamlabs OBS. There's no change. There's nothing unique about it. It's literally just an on-off switch right there. So, and who's going to turn off their bot in the middle of their stream? No one. That doesn't, Overlay library, Streamlabs' complete overlay library, which includes thousands of, So the overlays, one, you can set those up manually in any OBS. You don't need to have it automatically installed. However, I understand how this could be a really handy feature for many. But the issue I found with this is that the way these download and the way they organize it is it'll put it into scene collections in OBS, which is fine. You can have multiple different scenes and different overlays based on them. However, if you're wanting to get rid of an overlay you don't use anymore, you have to go find those files in your computer. You can't just simply delete the scene collection. You need to go find the files, otherwise they're just gonna sit there and take up space on your PC. But, I don't know how often many people change their overlays. Me, I make my own, and I'm very happy with that. Saves me money. I get to be creative. I get to make my stream look actually unique compared to others. Anyway, moving on. Oh, good. I was waiting for this one. The multi-stream. This is probably my biggest problem. Now, I understand, the multi-streaming, the way it works for Streamlabs is you send it to Streamlabs and Streamlabs filters it out, similar to Restream.io and many others that are out there that can provide that restreaming service. Yeah, I can talk. But here's the thing. If you're on OBS Studio and you have the internet bandwidth available to do it, you can multi-stream for free and not have to pay. All you have to do is download the multi-RTMP plugin for OBS Studio, and then you'd be able to stream to Twitch, YouTube, anywhere you want, as long as you have the URL, the secret, tokens, however it's set up and structured. That's all you need to actually put in any place you want to stream. So there are other options other than Streamlabs' multi-streaming, but I digress. All right, let's continue. So widgets, you can add Streamlabs widgets from the plugin, including essentials like alert box, chat box, event list, and much more. However, that comes with a caveat of if you do their apps, where you would have things like pretzel rocks added into Streamlabs OBS, you're not going to get that with this plugin. Features that aren't included in the Streamlabs plugin for OBS. It doesn't grant access to Streamlabs music, the DMCA free music, so you won't get copyright hit. Shared storage dual output, which is streaming vertically and horizontally simultaneously, which by the way, all you need for OBS Studio is the ATEM vertical plugin and you're good to go. Collab cam, and if you're interested in these features, we encourage you to check out Streamlabs desktop. But even here on the screen, you can see that all they have available to you with this plugin is the widgets, overlays, widget themes, Cloudbot, tipping, and multi-stream. So if that's all that's really included in this, you're missing features that are actually included in Streamlabs OBS. So what's the point? One of the issues I have when they say all of that is free is that this stuff is free regardless of whether you're using Streamlabs OBS, OBS Studio, Lightstream, all of that's available anyway. You don't have to have this plugin to use that stuff. Believe it or not, most of the stuff that Streamlabs says, oh, well, you could use our stuff. Guess what? You can actually just find a URL link for it. And yes, they provide that to you. And you just take that, drop it in a browser source. Woo, there you go, you got it. I know this is supposed to make this easier for people using OBS Studio to just do one-click solutions to add things to the stream. And I feel like this kind of just takes the freedom out of that. It takes the choices out of it. It takes the potential for learning out of it. Of course, if you know me in any way, shape, or form, you're gonna know that I will always encourage people to learn, to understand, to do better. But what's really, really frustrating to me is the fact that if my experience is the same as everyone else's when it comes to this plugin and all the other plugins available for OBS Studio, why would this exist in the first place? I unfortunately only really have two answers for that. One is the only one I believe. So the first possibility is that Streamlabs is legitimately trying to make OBS Studio easier for people to use by providing them things to get them started with OBS Studio and encouraging them to be able to create and things of that nature. Now, how as much as I would love to believe that's the true intention behind this plugin, that's not what I believe. What I really believe this is a ploy to make sure that Streamlabs is tapping in to an audience who doesn't know better to get money. Of course, I mean, that's most companies. Most companies want to profit, want to bring in new customers. Nothing wrong with that. That's how every company is. But this plugin feels very unnecessary because at the root of this, if it doesn't play well with other third-party plugins and it's only allowing for itself to be on there and essentially making it another Streamlabs OBS, then it's either trying to deter you to Streamlabs OBS, or it's just trying to capture your money because you don't know how to install a different form of multi-streaming. And this comes really almost at the heels, so to speak, of the multi-streaming craze after Twitch announced, yeah, sure, go ahead, multi-stream. To me, it just seems more of a cash grab than actually providing a benefit to OBS Studio users. All right, you're gonna keep ranting if you go this way, man. Just stop ranting, stop ranting, stop ranting, stop ranting. If you're somebody who actually is thinking about using this, trust me, spend some time and learn OBS. I've got videos on it to set up your stream, to set up overlays in your stream manually, and to improve your streams and use different plugins, how to install those plugins, what you should be doing. There are so many things you can do with this, and everybody has videos out on OBS Studio. So if you need help, take a little time. Don't get the Streamlabs stuff. Don't. If you want Streamlabs stuff, use Streamlabs OBS. The reason is because it's all there and it's set ready to go. I'm sorry, I don't have a lot of nice things to say, so I think that's just gonna be it. I'll see you on the next video.